left because in the beginning it was a war of wits. It was just, I'm nicer than you. I've done more than you. I'm more accomplished. I'm doing this. I came up. You had
Can
these
I
many
ask
albums.
you a question about that? Because what I'm thinking about the Jay, like what I remember, I remember like bits and pieces, and maybe you could kind of help me fill in some things. So it started with the with his first album, right? With the sample.
I don't know.
Because wasn't there like speculation that Jay-Z wanted him in the video? Jay-Z wanted him to.
Well, it's a story. I mean, I seen Irv Gotti. I seen Jay-Z even talk about it. It was a song on Jay-Z first album called Can I Live? Mm-hmm. I think Irv Gotti produced it. And he wanted Nas on the song. And either they was at the studio or he never showed up. But again, they don't really have a real
like
solid
rapport at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they know each other, I'm sure. But that was the thing of putting him on that album. And he, for whatever reason, he didn't show up. He didn't do it. So, personally,
he felt disrespected.
Could have, but at the same token, I don't know if that was enough for it to have gone the way that it went. I think it was just competitiveness at that time. Everybody was gunning for the top spot. Everybody was trying to be king of New York, the biggest artist, the biggest rapper. And I think they've been taking subliminal disses since then.
Yeah.
I don't know if it started from that.
Album, because Memphis Bleek, he takes a lot of credit for starting it, right? I heard him say he's the reason he felt like he got his big homie into some stuff. I remember.
I don't think so.
It was.
I know the song was "What You Think of That," and he said, "I'm a ball with you for." I mean, he said on his song he said, "What you think of?" That's the hook. "What you think of that? I'm a ball till I fall. What you think of that?" And then on Nas' song Nostradamus, he says, "Nasty Nas the Escobar." No, he don't say that. He said, "Oh, you want a ball till you fall? I can help you with that." So I think Memphis Bleek felt he was talking. He could have been talking about. I don't know.
And then wasn't it like?
But that's on Nostradamus. On It Was Written, he says things about on I think what was the song? Either the Message or something. Yeah,
the Lexus was,
Lex with TV sets is the minimum and all that. That's a shot, allegedly. Then on I Am.
But then he said that he said it wasn't I mean, of course they do the thing, it's a friendly competition. It wasn't about him. It was, he said he was showing I forgot what the words was, like showing love to Jay-Z or whatever, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I don't.
Target.
Well, you can't. If you say
the minimum, and I
got more than that, and Jay-Z's rapping about having TV set in his Lexus, then that would be a shot. And then
he said he inspired the line. Jay-Z inspired the line, but it wasn't a shot. That's I don't know how that works.
All right. And then on I Am, which is before Nostradamus, which is before Memphis Bleek and the Ball TV. He said niggas is wrong. He got a song to Big called I Will Survive or something like that. And he's like, he wrote a letter to Biggie. And after Biggie's passing, he says niggas is wrong, using your name in vain, and they claim to be New York's king. It ain't about that. Who is he talking about? That's Jay-Z. So, and then they've had, that was a subliminal era, bro. A lot of people was saying stuff you don't. I just told you earlier, I was listening to a song. It was LL Cool J. Mm-hmm. This is it gotta be like 87, 88. The man got a song called A Breakthrough.
Yeah.
Now, again, we're gonna go back to that great era again. But anyway.
To the what? The gray era?
The great era. The golden era.
Gray era.
And we're gonna go back. Salt and Pepper had a song called My Mic Sounds Nice. And they like, my mic sounds nice, check one. My mic. They not dissing nobody, they just talking about how nice they rap. Yeah. LL, years later, just out of nowhere in the middle of the song says, your mic sounds weak. Remember that, Skeezer? I said, yo, my man. But I just
unwarranted.
No, Salt and Pepper, I don't remember them dissing anybody but Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick. That's how they got on. Their first song was called Showstopper, and they was dissing them, but like playful. So for him to do that, I was like, yo, that's my man, but he the king of petty, because that was crazy. But it was a lot of subliminal. And I'm saying that to say, I just heard the song recently and realized that's who he was talking about, and that's what he was saying. But
y'all also was the generation of subliminal disses and being
because it's you dealing with real N-words, right? So if you're dealing with real N-words in the entourages, at that time, things could get more critical. So you can't just say anything about anybody. So luckily back then, we didn't have social media and the internet and instant reaction. Like, by the time people would cross paths, they could always calm it down and get it, so it don't go too left. Because you're dealing with real, the real elements in the street at that time.
So with Jay-Z and Nas, like, it did kind of escalate at some point. Like, I remember, like, all, back and forth, Hot 97.
He nailed this baby mother.
Interviews. I remember the stuff about Carmen.
He nailed this baby mother.
Yeah, he brought Allen Iverson into it. Like, it was bad. So, and then I remember the Hot 97, the Michael Jackson, the Mobb Deep, at the end, ending it with the Nas diss, right? And then the next
the
year,
takeover. It's the same year.
Yeah.
It's the verse.
The next year.
No, that's the same. It's 2001. It's the same year Takeover came out.
No, I'm saying the next year Nas was supposed to perform.
Oh,
and then, but this is the thing. Nas felt like Jay-Z dissed him when he was losing his mother, and I believe his mother was suffering from cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And in the midst of the battle, and the following year, and correct me if my timeline is a little off, but that following year he was asked to do Hot 97 Summer Jam. I mean, this is not no new news.
Yeah,
I know that, like, but I'm saying that, would you say that next year what Nas was about, and wait, was Super Ugly before Nas was about to do that on the stage?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. Super Ugly, you feel like it was too far?
Yes. I believe that was too far.
And why you say that?
He skeeted on you, left condoms on the baby seat. No, that was crazy.
Accusation.
There's no accusation.
Accusation.
That was wild. That's wild.
You know what? As a kid, hearing that song, I didn't see nothing wrong with it. I'm like, oh, he killed it. I'm 13. I don't know how old I am. But I'm thinking, and it lets me see how kids now interpret music like that's just disrespectful and it's kind of or tasteless.
That's the thing. And
we don't understand the extent. Like, the most shocking thing is the most exciting thing for a child. So I can see how kids like, let me go dance on the grave. Let me go. Whatever's the most.
But when you go that far, you gotta remember everything got consequences.
Yeah.
So that's why you see the further they go with the disrespect, the worse the consequences.
Yeah.
That's why you see these kids dying. That's why you see it being wars and the whole nine because of that. Because it's a certain level of disrespect, and if you don't have people in there to calm it down, like I said, there was mediation that happened that made things work out better in those times, and
to navigate, like,
people still
had whole crews. It wasn't
people still did things with honor. There's still a level of and codes and ethics. It's things that people just like nah, or might realize like, damn, I might have went too far. But today, people not really operating on that. It's like they don't care. They went too far, so what? And I think it's because, again, there's no time to process it. Everybody is the instant reaction. Like, I could just jump on Twitter. I think if there was no Twitter, I don't think Meek Mill and Drake would have went through what they went through. But because he was able to just spit out what was going on. If he processed that, he probably wouldn't have handled it the same way. Even if he felt how he felt, I think, again, you need that time and that filter. And luckily, in our time and day, that wasn't around because it would have been way more dead people.
And I mean, the Nas and Jay-Z thing, and I don't want to keep harping on this, but it went on for a long time. It wasn't like...
It seems like a long time, but it wasn't really that long.
How long? When do you think it ended? Because even after the apology on the radio, there was still shots.
I don't think he apologized to Nas. He apologized really to his mother and his fans. He didn't apologize because his mother was like, okay, she heard like, this is too far, like what you said on here. He still was. It was still tension in terms that they wasn't rocking.
But I remember hearing that on the radio. Afterwards on the internet, of course. But just him saying he got a call from his mother and he was wrong. He wants to apologize. I'm thinking I think
He
he
might
might
apologize.
apologize to Nas because he said I did.
Oh, I don't
feel
know. I
bad
know he
for
apologized to the women, and I know he
bringing the
apologized to his
women.
mother, but I don't think he
Yeah.
ever apologized to Nas.
Maybe not. I could be wrong
Yeah.
about it.
Congratulations.
That-
You played yourself.
I could be wrong about that. Right. He's working against me. It's all good.
No.
But I think that with Nas and Jay, it kind of got to a point to where, I think. Do you think that what he was about to do on the stage that next year was that too far? I mean, he was stopped. There are, and I think that's
No,
another,
he wasn't stopped because it was too. He was stopped because Jay-Z had that much power and influence.
You don't think he was stopped because of what was about to happen?
No. The man they made a song about. He was just making a lynching of Jay-Z, mocking Jay-Z being a king, and he's overthrown and he killed him. That's what it was about. It was nothing else. He wasn't doing nothing. What?
They should. I remember they released a video of the guys who were making the claymation or not claymation.
I don't know nothing about all that.
Yeah, there was a video that was on. I remember Nas was asked about that. There was the people who were making the actual, well, not claymation, but it was an actual like Hollywood. They're making Jay-Z's face and stuff. And
yeah, but they was gonna make it. He was gonna have a lynching.
Yeah, that wasn't too far.
After a nigga just said he skeeted in my car seat, my baby car seat. No.